NASA's deepest drill into Mars' crust just reached 20 meters below the surface and vanished without a trace. No signal, no distress call. One instant, groundbreaking readings streaming back. The next, absolute void. Was it a catastrophic glitch? Or did the probe unearth a secret the red planet wasn't ready to reveal? Because moments later, quantum fluctuations spiked in the vicinity, and the final data burst carried an enigmatic marker, QNT-M37. Whatever penetrated that depth, it awakened forces we barely comprehend. Yes, this marked the farthest humanity had burrowed into another world. And yes, contact severed immediately after. But the prelude to that eclipse has scientists across the globe in hushed awe. The Mars crust penetrator shattered every prior record on the red planet. While earlier explorers like rovers had merely grazed the exterior at centimeters, this venture plunged 20 meters into the Martian regolith, over 200 times deeper than any before. The objective was unambiguous: access the shielded subterranean realms, where primordial ices, volatile compounds, and conceivable quantum-entangled particles might endure the relentless cosmic barrage above. Each meter descended unveiled fresh enigmas about Mars-veiled epochs. At 8 meters, sensors registered exotic carbon chains, possible relics of ancient hydrothermal vents, mirroring Earth's deep-sea origins. The research community pulsed with anticipation. But as the drill surged to 12 meters, an unforeseen shift occurred. The torque resistance plummeted abruptly. It had breached into an altered stratum, perhaps a cavity or fracture network. Instruments captured a fleeting surge in electromagnetic noise, laced with hints of methane isotopes. The drill forged ahead to its designated 20-meter threshold. Then, exactly as it commenced core extraction from this abyssal sample, all transmissions halted. Control centers observed as data feeds dissolved into static. The probe's vital signs transitioned from active to null. But just prior to that ultimate hush, one concluding fragment emerged, a system alert tagged QNT-M37, a code allocated for anomalous quantum measurements defying standard Martian geophysics. In the seconds before fading, the Mars crust penetrator relayed a terminal packet. Within, elevated methane traces, anomalous thermal gradients, a flagged irregularity in the quantum sensor array, and beyond that, the onboard quantum processor had initiated isolation sequence. Official channels withheld the complete dataset. What emerged? Transmission ceased, precisely 9 seconds post-anomaly flag. Consider it. The probe doesn't simply fail amid standard penetration. It fails after identifying an element beyond calibrated norms. An entity so aberrant, it invoked lockdown. What might that irregularity signify? Share thoughts below before unveiling the hypothesis reshaping cosmic exploration paradigms. The concluding broadcast from the Mars crust penetrator has ignited fervent analysis. Specialists at propulsion labs dissected every quantum bit from those pivotal instants. The burrowing proceeded routinely until the 20-meter milestone. That's when detectors noted a sharp torque decline, as though the bit had pierced into variant substance or a minor void. Soon after, the integrated quantum spectrometer logged an atypical entanglement signature in the extracted matrix. This activated the QNT-M37 alert, a label in the framework reserved for unidentified quantum phenomena, mismatched to anticipated Martian quantum baselines. What heightens the intrigue is the subsequent cascade. The probe's self-governing mechanisms promptly enacted a containment directive, a safeguard to avert potential quantum decoherence if something profoundly entangled is encountered. Power metrics displayed a subtle yet notable fluctuation mere 20 seconds pre-comms loss. An energy surge ensued, akin to quantum interference overload. The data flow then truncated 9 seconds following the QNTM-37 emergence. In the ensuing hours, orbital assets registered something profoundly peculiar. A collaborative trace analyzer orbiting overhead gauged a confined burst in quantum noise precisely atop the penetration zone. This wasn't mere background fluctuation, it formed a focused anomaly, as if liberated from profound depths. High-fidelity scans later depicted a subtle distortion in the local gravitational microlensing around the site. Material alterations absent in prior observations. The chronology of these occurrences sparked conjecture that whatever the drill intersected at 20 meters initiated a chain culminating in the probe's muting. Was it mere hardware collapse, or did the device sense something so paradigm-shifting its algorithms compelled cessation? One emergent model implicates an advanced detector aboard, a quantum entanglement scanner, engineered to identify paired particles across distances, hallmarks of exotic matter, or even simulated realities. It registered an imprint. The signature wasn't definitive, yet far from null. Seconds later, eclipse. This birthed a conjecture. The probe struck a quantum-locked reservoir, a fossilized nexus untouched by cosmic entropy for eons. We're not claiming discovery of alien constructs, but if it tapped vestiges of primordial quantum fields, entangled states from the universe's dawn, then challenges arise. For if that revelation isn't fully isolated and authenticated, the peril of observational collapse or reality interference looms immense. Among the elite instruments on the Mars Crust penetrator was a frontier tool not emphasized in mission outlines, a quantum coherence analyzer. This precision device discerns a vital aspect overlooked by conventional sensors: the entanglement parity of subatomic particles. In our cosmos, quantum mechanics governs through probabilistic waves, but certain asymmetries hint at deeper structures, perhaps echoes of multiversal branches or simulation artifacts. This coherence, or quantum-handedness, stands as a potent indicator of non-local phenomena. If Mars harbors entangled relics with aligned parity, it could evidence cosmic scale, quantum computing, or reality warping events. At 8 meters, the probe had sensed complex quantum fluctuations, but at 20 meters, it diverged. The coherence analyzer flagged an anomalous parity, a whisper of entanglement symmetry absent in abiotic formations. This aligns with astrophysicists' long-held suspicions. Mars's underbelly might safeguard quantum states eroded on the radiation-scoured exterior. Penetrating 20 meters, accessed strata, shielded for billions of years. The primary hypothesis posits the drill breached an archaic quantum reservoir, a snapshot from when Mars pulsed with magnetic dynamos and possible wormhole precursors. Within, entangled particles exhibiting distinct coherence might persist unaltered. These wouldn't imply sentient beings, but chemical or physical imprints of quantum events when Mars mirrored early Earth. For space agencies, such a find poses an existential quandary. Any hint of quantum anomalies on Mars demands irrefutable validation, with defenses against quantum noise or observer effects. The QNT-37 flag in the terminal relay isn't proof of alternate realities, but signals quantum patterns odd enough to engage specialized routines. These routines exist due to the vast ramifications such a breakthrough entails. If the drill unveiled preserved quantum entanglements, the automated safeguards may have enforced containment to mitigate decoherence risks, either from terrestrial interference corrupting the Martian quantum state or vice versa. The orbital detection of quantum noise above the site post-eclipse layers, further enigma. In theoretical models, over 90% of quantum fluctuations tie to fundamental vacuum energies, while Martian quantum signals might stem from geological piezoelectrics. Their locus directly over the drill defies coincidence. What if the penetration not only exposed entangled relics, but liberated trapped quantum fields sealed for ages? Another outlier, subsurface quantum radar, yielded periodic high-frequency resonances from beneath the bore. Not stratigraphic layers, not crystalline boundaries, something rhythmic, coherent, unforeseen. Explanations eluded. But past the 17-meter threshold, the resonance dissolved, and soon the probe followed. Yet post-eclipse developments amplify queries, for orbital sentinels witnessed anomalies from afar. Prior to silence, the Mars Crust penetrator employed quantum-penetrating radar to chart sub-drill terrains. This tech, akin to advanced rover systems, propagates entangled photons subsurface and interprets returns. What it unveiled perplexed. From circa 12 meters, radar captured sequential rhythmic resonances deeper, around 25 to 30 meters. These transcended erratic echoes of geologic chaos. Instead, they exhibited near-mathematical cadence, uniformly spaced returns, baffling natural precedents. Geologic strata lack such precision. Volcanic deposits vary in density. Even evaporate beds from vanished seas show inconsistencies. But these quantum echoes manifested uniformity that confounded geophysicists. Some posited a chain of microvoids or fracture lattices. Others suggested laminar conductive horizons precipitated with uncanny regularity. The most captivating speculation invoked an ancient quantum lattice, perhaps natural superpositions from primordial fields, or remnants of cosmic strings woven during Mars' formative turbulence. What elevates this to profound mystery is the sequencing. As the drill surpassed 17 meters, mere 3 meters from apex, the radar resonances abruptly nullified, as if the source had shifted phase, decohered, or evaded detection. And minutes thence, the probe silenced. The alignment fuels theories. Did the bore near an entity inducing quantum interference in probe circuits? Were these cadenced echoes linked to the methane and quantum spikes concurrent? Answers may elude, but subsequent events only intensify the veil. In days after Hush, multiple orbiters surveyed the bore zone. What they beheld from heights appends yet another stratum to this cosmic riddle. High-definition images captured visuals of a shadowed expanse radiating from the probe's stance, akin to an expanding veil over Martian dust, absent in pre-eclipse captures. Even more compelling, thermal scanners detected a faint, yet quantifiable warmth elevation encircling the site, a heated enclave amid frigid desolation, as if subsurface energies stirred. What spawned these shifts? Mere regolith agitation from boring? Or did the drill ignite deeper dynamics now surfacing? Within 36 hours, post-silence, dual orbiters traversed. One's quantum spectrometer noted an abrupt, local quantum entanglement surge overhead the bore. Concurrently, infrared optics registered a modest thermal effusion, ground warmer than environs. Quantum entanglements on Mars are scarce. Transient spikes rarer still. A heated swath where your probe vanished, unorthodox. Something was either emancipated or self-emancipating from depths. we delved farther into Mars than history records, and hours later, diverse instruments flagged aberrations pinpointed there: quantum noise, warmth, void. The enigma of the Mars crust penetrator intensified post its abrupt muting. Agencies swiftly rerouted orbital fleets to amass site intel, seeking clarity on their pioneering endeavor's fate. A dedicated atmospheric profiler, crafted to dissect Mars' ethereal veil, conducted its orbit 15 hours after signal loss. Its acute detectors unveiled the extraordinary: a pinpoint quantum fluctuation plumed straight above the penetration. Not trace whispers, this peaked at levels dwarfing ambient baselines by orders. More arresting, its confinement, as if originating from a singular subsurface font. Quantum fluctuations on Mars intrigue profoundly. Such phenomena dissipate swiftly under solar winds. Detected instances imply recent genesis. In quantum cosmology, entanglements often linked to foundational realities, perhaps simulation boundaries or black hole information paradoxes. Though Martian variants might arise from piezoelectric stresses, the timing and situs forge compelling ties to the probe's terminus. Had the boring ruptured a quantum-sealed vault or catalyzed a latent process now emanating entanglements? Another orbiter, armed with thermal spectrometry, supplied further mosaic. Orbiting 28 hours post-eclipse, its infrared lenses pinpointed an odd heat pattern, a circa 25-meter diameter zone, 3 to 4 degrees Celsius above ambient, centered on the bore. Such thermal variances defy Mars's norms, where surfaces adhere to solar and topographic dictates. The fusion of these, quantum release and anomalous heating, intimates active subsurface stirrings. This transcended mere probe outage from mechanics. Mars' depths had transformed. Meanwhile, reconnaissance optics seized high-res snapshots, revealing a darkened regolith halo from the probe, a spectral bloom unseen pre-drill. Spectroanalysis of this zone disclosed altered compositions, enriched volatiles and exotic isotopes akin to deep crust origins. These aerial insights confronted controllers with a disquieting narrative. Their penetration had conceivably provoked or unleashed profundal Martian essences, persisting beyond probe silence. The synchronicity demanded attention. Humanity bored deeper into Mars than precedents. Within hours of 20 meters, independent sensors logged site-centric oddities: quantum bursts, thermal rises, surface mutations. For scientists, these elevated a potential glitch to cosmic profundity. Mars harbors vestigial quantum fields in crystalline matrices. Under precise conditions, these can disrupt quanta, especially abyssal. If the bore traversed a hyper-entangled layer, say salt-infused quantum traps, it might induce decoherence or signal blackout. Analogous effects manifest in terrestrial deep bores. Distinction? Mars lacks proximal intervention, while quantum hints and methane evoke revolutionary unveils, a grounded rationale for the probe's hush roots in Mars's singular quantum geology. Unlike Earth, Mars forfeited its planetary magnetic shield eons ago, yet it retains localized quantum-locked fields, fossilized in mineral lattices from ancient dynamos. These anomalies intensify in select crustal domains. Orbital mappings chart these as potent, surpassing terrestrial quantum baselines, multifold in loci. The probe's terminal metrics showed a nuanced power waver and surge 25 seconds pre-loss, mirroring quantum induction, conductive motion through fields birthing currents. If the metallic bit pierced a magnetized or brine-saturated quantum layer, it could forge unintended pathways, inducing overloads in mechanisms or wiring, a quantum short. Terrestrial analogues occur in mining through quantum-sensitive strata, yielding feedback disrupting tools. Yet Earth permits manual redress. The Mars crust penetrator, light minutes distant with delays, depended wholly on autonomy for anomaly response. If the quantum overload scorched essentials, recovery evaded. Bolstering this, the pre-eclipse torque drop implied breakthrough into variant media. If a supercooled quantum brine pocket, contact between bit and fluid could prime catastrophic interference. The prior rhythmic radar might reflect such layers, alternating dry and quantum-rich bands yielding patterned returns. This, though less theatrical, aligns with telemetry and Martian quanta, yet incompletely explains post-methane and thermals, hinting the interference spurred additional dynamics. Engineers now fortify future bores with quantum shielding against such phenomena, hard-earned insights from Mars' deepest incursion. Contemporary probes boast quantum AI safeguards. Predecessors possess them. If detecting self-threat or quantum hazard unverifiable, self-quarantine ensues. Here, the AI invoked QNT-M37, a code unseen publicly prior. The probe didn't merely falter, it perhaps elected silence. Absent full records, if programmed to avert quantum contamination bidirectionally, shutdown could be deliberate quarantine. And as Enigma peaks, a buried log clue emerges. Another avenue, quietly pondered by engineers, not malfunction, but intentional cessation. This pivots on autonomous quantum decision architectures in modern probes. From early rover eras, enhancements enabled split-instant choices sans Earth liaison. Rovers have autosaved recurrently on anomalies, hibernating till diagnosis. Advanced iterations navigate perils, prioritize quanta sans input. The Mars crust penetrator elevated this, its deep bore mandate, risking unknowns. Its quantum AI harbored vast contingencies. Most fascinating, quantum containment suites for improbable yet feasible quantum anomaly encounters, past or extant. The finale included QNT-M37 flag. Per internal schemas, this slots in ranges for unconfirmed quantum detections, specifically patterns evoking simulation echoes or multiversal leaks needing scrutiny. Notably, this code debuted publicly herein, part of untapped contingencies. If analyzers sensed quantum coherence fitting anomaly criteria, those entangled parities, it flagged QNT-M37, invoking protocol to halt contamination, Earth quanta tainting Martian states, or Martian-altering probe. Protocol, sequester detection, secure samples. Pause ops till oversight. Extremes might enforce comms blackout, halting auto commands. Event timing buttresses, flag surfaces. 9 seconds suffice for activation, then void. Not crash, quarantine. If valid, it heralds unprecedented. A probe on alien soil, autonomously sensing quantum significance, enacting preservation. Agencies neither affirm nor refute, their data reticence stoking that significance triggered routines. This also elucidates recovery failures. Deep quarantine might ignore standards, sans override, one withheld, pending full grasp. The terminal packet bore internal review stamp, unreleased, but orbital visuals unveil more. Darkened, regolith sprawl around site, absent pre-eclipse. No pit, no scatter, just morphed landscape. Commentary sparse, yet localized quantum event not dismissed. Some theorize pressurized quantum layer breach, gas or brine erupting to impair comms or encrust arrays. Others whisper, Mars may retain quantum voids. Reacting to probe. Post-Mars crust, penetrator hush weeks, agency responses stirred intrigue among cosmic scholars. Standard revivals launched, arousal signals, faint listens, orbiter relays, with atypical prudence. Telling, final data's database tag, seldom invoked, internal review. This denotes special vetting pre-disclosure for anomalies or pivotal finds. Queried, officials note, routine scrutiny, sans specifics. Meanwhile, orbital high-res captured evidentiary shifts. Pre-post eclipse contrasts show distinct darkened halo, circa 28 meters, soil perturbed, not crater nor blast, probe intact, yet environs transmuted, as if upwelled or deposited. Spectral probe of halo yields deviant signatures, heightened quantum-sensitive isotopes, deep crust kin. These bolster theory of pressurized subsurface puncture, quantum gas or brine venting via Bohr. Mars deep pressures mystify, surface scant, but depths differ. Reaching Eon's sealed pocket, modest release could sabotage comms or coat with interference. Methane adds plausibility, Earth analogues vent under drill. Mars parallel explains plume and halo. Yet a bolder notion gains traction. Residual quantum cosmology. Mars deemed inert versus Earth. Recent quakes suggested vitality. Probes logged seismic from zones, hinting recent volcanism. Geologic blinks ago. If quantum hotspots lingered deep, boring might tap one. Orbital thermal halo supports. Breach thin veil to heated quantum pocket, yielding material effusion, altering soil, impairing systems. Melding halo, methane, heat, and QNT-M, 37 post-flag intimates beyond mechanics. Whatever met at 20 meters sufficed to reshape probe ops and surface. This surpasses defunct machine, its inaugural gaze at Mars' quantum annals and repercussions of profound disturbance. We may have grazed Mars's interred quantum essence. Not horrors, not extraterrestrials, but perhaps ancient entanglements, cosmic relics worth safeguarding. Now aware of depths, query, return. If this probe unearthed quantum echoes, it could overhaul Mars law, yet elevates perils. Can't risk, echoed silence. NASA's deepest Mars, Bohr may mute, but birthed enigma endures. Beneath Martian crust transcends theory. We've contacted it. Soul query. What lingers, abyssal. The Mars crust penetrators, fleeting 20-meter odyssey beneath Martian veneer, signifies beyond feat or fiasco. It heralds seismic pivot in red planet comprehension, potentially in extraterrestrial quantum quests. Ages theorized. If quantum oddities graced Mars, vestiges likely subterranean. Harsh rays and oxidants ravage surface quanta swiftly, but depths shielded from cosmic assault and thermal extremes might conserve signatures eons. Till now, conceptual. Probes skimmed centimeters. Deepest prior, shallow burrows stalling soon. This penetrator revolutionized, accessing 20 meters, zone pristine since atmosphere wane and waters recede billions past. This, habitable era Mars, capsulized under dust veils. Findings gravity isn't mere depth triumph, it's data intimations, quantum coherence detection, entanglement parity, off-signaling cosmic fabrics or simulation seams, embodies sought evidence. If verified, implies quantum foundations once pervaded Mars. If patterns suggest organized quantum selection, implications profound. Methane concurrent bolsters, Earth methane biologic, Martian geologic possible, yet with quanta fortifies case, Mars hosted life's quantum precursors. Mission's post-discovery hush underscores interplanetary hurdles. Mars perpetually astonishes, hurling barriers as secrets near. This prompts paramount, whence? Agencies redesign, deep bores, per this. Redundant quanticoms, amplified quantum guards, robust containments. Forthcoming explorers with lesser depths carry quantum life detectors now vital knowing potentials. Discourse brews for site return mission, not enigma solve alone, but probe that 20-meter find. Stakes peak. If Mars safeguards ancient quantum life echoes or precursors, it redefines universal life ubiquity. Suggests life's quantum emergence, no Earth singularity, but commonplace under apt quanta. Yet caution, imperative. Penetrator's end reminds Mars's surprises. Each abyssal stride nears humanity's deepest queries, yet demands responsible method. NASA's deepest Mars bore silenced, its resonance thunders. Granted inaugural peak under Mars' dusty shroud, hinting worlds once akin ours. Worlds perhaps quantum-lifed. Worlds' secrets await mere meters deep. Beneath Martian Crust's enigma, now tangible. We've stirred it. Decision, pursuit depth for verity. Next saga scribes. Engineers craft novel bores. Scientists repass data. On Mars, mute probe amid shadowed soil stands. Testament to ceaseless wonder. Beacon to impending revelations. What abides below? Unknown. Yet return we shall, for explorers transcend limits, hazard perils.